Alright, so this time I decided to have us come up with television shows that we thought should be rebooted. The only criteria was they had to have aired on a major network, so it couldn't be some public access show that nobody fucking heard of. Alrighty, so who wants to start? Justin, you're starting.
I'm starting?
Yes.
I had nothing to say much, except that, basically, I basically came up with this in the last, 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you were told about this, a week and a half ago.
10 seconds. And, I would say Darkwing Duck.
Ooh, okay.
Mainly because, I don't know, you haven't really seen a whole lot of Darkwing Duck since the 90s, basically, anyways. And, I don't know, I like the character design a whole lot. They could do a whole lot more with that nowadays, still. Maybe.
Plus with the whole reboot of DuckTales and whatnot that is going
yeah.
on, there's a decent sort of design to go with from there. Either that or take it the whole 180 and do it in a completely different style.
Boom Studios did a really good comic of it, maybe about 5 years ago.
Yeah, they can still do something with Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, no, that was, it was legitimately really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm totally on board with Darkwing Duck. Do you have any, ideas about what you would do, or...
I was just reading up an article on this. It says on April 2nd, 2015, a rumor surfaced that Disney would be rebooting the series for 2018.
Damn it, Justin.
But since it's been debunked instead.
No. Curses.
For that comic book that you talked about.
Yes, which is really good, and you should go out of your way to buy it.
But no, I don't really have any ideas of how they would reboot it, though, unfortunately.
Well, would it be a case that it's been advanced a little bit time-wise, with the characters being a little bit older and Darkwing Duck getting back into the swing of things, being this vigilante?
It could work, maybe.
That's the approach that the Boom Studios book took. Was it's 10 years later or whatever.
Yeah, that would work.
Oh man, what was Gothland like at that time?
You'd probably base it off of the new comic that came out. Maybe I haven't seen it myself, but
I want to say it's only 20 issues. It wasn't terribly long.
It wouldn't be a long series then.
No, it wouldn't. But it was really good. And they also did a Tailspin book as well.
Oh, okay.
Which I think only lasted 10 issues. Which was sad. Anyway, Dave, what was your idea?
Well, I'm kind of in the same sort of vein as Justin, but in my case, it'd be interesting if they rebooted Gargoyles.
Okay. Gargoyles, yeah, you could definitely do that.
With all the particular things that they've done within the series before, it was definitely interesting. Though, in my case, I only remember most things from the first season and the start of the second season, where the second season kind of went in some weird directions, from what I remember hearing online.
Yeah, and the DVDs for that took forever to come out. I think you can get the second half of season 2 on that on I forget who the rights holder is on that. I think it's Disney. They have a burn on demand thing where they'll make a copy of it and ship it to you.
Something like that. But just with all the particular stuff that they did with the start of the story of these creatures living in the realistic world and Thanatos, just rebooting the series just because of him, because he is such an amazing villain and antagonist.
Okay. Any ideas on what you would do with the story, or...
Well, they've taken a lot of different avenues with throwing in a whole bunch of different lore from, I'd say Celtic and Nordic mythologies, Loki being thrown into the mix of a whole bunch of things. Where specifically... Either just a specific reboot kind of reiterating the tale, maybe going into a bit more of the story of other characters that weren't really dived into as much, that were just sort of touched on within the series. But now I think on whole is just sort of getting the series going and just sort of bring it back to show it to people who haven't heard of or seen it before.
Okay. Fair enough. Alrighty, so... I pulled a show that is probably pretty obscure to most people, but was incredibly influential.
Okay.
You've probably never heard of it. It's a little show called Kolchak the Night Stalker.
Dude.
Yeah, I've not heard of it.
You've heard of it, Dave?
I've heard of it. I don't have all the details on it, but I've definitely heard the name.
Okay, so Kolchak the Night Stalker was originally a television show in 1974 to 1975. Basically, the premise was Carl Kolchak was a reporter for like a small newspaper, and he would end up getting involved in I don't want to say cases, but basically like he would end up investigating some kind of paranormal, supernatural, or like sci-fi thing. So like one episode it was a vampire, one episode it would be a zombie, the next episode it would be an android.
So essentially it would be like the X-Files, except everything that they would be investigating came more accidentally instead of something that they're specifically searching for.
Yeah, and like Chris Carter, the guy who created the X-Files, was like, yeah, that was a major influence. So in, I want to say 2005, I might be off by a year or two, they did reboot it, which I think the original series aired 20 episodes, the reboot only, I'm guessing here, I think it only aired 5 or 6. But I would basically just stick with a lot of the things that the more modern version did, where they stick with him being a reporter and everything, and they bring in more of like an apocalyptic kind of thing, where there's the final episode that they aired on television ends with Carl in a hotel room with these 4 bikers surrounding, and they're meant to be like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So, and then he has like his tattoo on his wrist, and that was meant to be a thing, and like basically just like a very serialized story. I would stick with that. I would change a few things, but basically just bringing that show back because there's potential there that for whatever reason has never caught on.
Well, definitely from your pitch and hearing a little bit more about it, I'm definitely decently intrigued.
Oh, fuck. Watch the Night Stalker. Even watch the 70s version. Like, it's... Okay, yeah, some of the effects look kind of shitty.
70s.
In modern contexts, the effects kind of look shitty, but it's so fucking good.
Do they have people in gray suit? Or they have rubber suits or whatever?
Oh, Justin, I am going to make your day, sir.
Ooh.
As a man who likes suits. Okay, just give me a second here. Kolchak.
I don't know. Those are always some interesting effects that they would use back then. Better than the CG sometimes.
Oh, trust me, you are going to pop for this. That's the werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a dog.
He looks like a dog person.
Yep.
Great.
That's the level of effects they were working with.
The Mr. Bork Bork sort of person?
They also did an android that looked like that.
Okay then, sure.
Yep. Like I said, this series was 10 out of 10.
Just a guy wearing a mask, whatever.
There was one episode where they did aliens, but they couldn't fucking afford to do aliens, so they were like, they're invisible!
Of course.
Oh man, you gotta be careful with those sorts of aliens.
Because that's the kind of budget the show is working with.
Yeah, they couldn't get the aliens from Alien or whatever, sadly.
Oh man, they're invisible!
That would have been far too scary for network television in the 70s. God damn it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, it would have been good though. Anybody who can get a hold of a copy, watch the Kolchak series. Both of them, actually, because they're both really good. But the 70s one, yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but Darren McGavin's great in the role.
That, and it's the 70s, it's to be expected.
And the one guy, there's an episode that takes place on a cruise ship, and this one stuntman, he takes a hell of a bump. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, unless either of you have anything to add...
I think the only one particular thing that came to my mind when you asked for particular shows, in my case, was I remember someone sort of saying that they were going to give a reboot to Rocko's Modern Life. That supposedly never happened, though.
We're getting a movie, I think,
Yeah.
on that.
Oh?
I remember...
Yeah, there was an announcement for a movie, and there was like a big trailer for it.
Yeah, wasn't that at E3 last year or something?
I am not sure.
not E3, but just like
Some sort of convention.
Comic-Con that showed off that.
Yeah, but I thought they also announced like a tie-in game or something. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm...
I didn't hear about any game for it.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else then.
But I did hear that there was, an actual movie for Rocko's Modern Life coming.
I guess it's not too surprising. They did the same thing with Hey Arnold.
Yes,
with
indeed.
making a movie.
They finished that after forever.
And they also gave Power Rangers a movie.
Well, duh.
I just thought I'd bring that up because everybody loves it.
Yeah.
I say this because I actually saw a clip while I was surfing online, and it's kind of...
I tried to watch that movie. You're just making more work for me now, you bastard.
He's making a lot of noise.
I know, it pisses me off.
I'm sorry, but just...
I tried to watch the Power Rangers movie. I couldn't get past it with half an hour. I was like, nope.
Is it really that bad in the CG? Is there CG?
Yeah, of course there is.
Okay.
Okay, so it's quick review of a Power Rangers movie from the 30 minutes I saw.
Alright.
Roughly 30 minutes I saw. It's not... I wouldn't say it's bad. Because if it was bad, I would have watched it to laugh at it.
Oh, so it's disappointing.
It's thoroughly mediocre.
Okay.
I think it's a case that they tried to take the concept of what Power Rangers was, which was a show for kids that had a couple little comedic moments, and then tossed in all the serious life lessons of life and stuff. At least from the clip or two I've seen.
Okay, imagine if they... Okay, so imagine mixing Power Rangers with, like... I can't think of a good example, actually. But they... Basically, it's like... Power Rangers is inherently, like, a silly concept. There's only so much you can take serious from it.
Oh.
But they try to make it like... Grr, we're the next Avengers.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was shit.
Ooh, they go down that route?
They try to take it a lot more serious than they should.
I
Like, the
saw
Marvel
it-
movies... The
I
Marvel
saw it-
movies take themselves seriously, but they're still funny.
Yeah.
This is like, no, this is Power Rangers. It's serious fucking business.
Nothing about Power Rangers is that serious.
Oh, I know, but
It's just not.
Until it gets to that particular point, and then it just whams you right in the flippin' feels. But that's only comes every now and again.
If it wants to do it right, sure. But when it doesn't do it right, it doesn't come across like that.
Oh, and one of the Power Rangers had autism. I don't know why, but he did.
Okay.
That was just a thing they threw in.
Okay.
Just 'cause.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So if there's nothing else, I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I am Justin.